So I'll just focus on my ideas on the topic of how to widen and deepen the rooftop solar market in India. Three ideas or suggestions. Uh, Number one is in terms of having uh, what is described as a first loss protection program to allow the benefit of rooftop solar to be had by small and mid-sized industries as well, rather than just the extremely large and credit-worthy industries which are our clients today. What I mean by that is that partly because in our nation we have a weak contract framework and it takes forever to resolve disputes in court. So when players like us think about what is an addressable market for us, we focus on the really large companies, AA, AAA rated, multinational subsidiaries. In reality, the rooftop market for the credit segment below them, the suppliers to those companies, other mid-sized manufacturing organizations, is probably, a wild guess would be 40 to 50 times that size. And getting to those companies, however, is difficult because if our equipment is going to be on their roof, then tomorrow he'll stop paying me. What sort of protection mechanisms do I have? It involves going to courts and trying to find a legal solution for contract dispute and violation. It will just take too long. One of the ways to mitigate that could be a first loss protection program, which is essentially, the way it could work is for the first 10 or 15% of non-recoveries or projects gone bad, the first loss investor takes that hit. And beyond that, it's the lenders and the developers who have to take a hit. Of course, there's a lot of detailing behind that, but if we have a first loss protection program, even a $1 million or roughly say 7 crore rupees of aid could go in making 30 to 40 megawatt of rooftop solar happen for those industry segments who are today not getting it. And in terms of where the money could come from, of course, it could be foreign money, multilateral money, or foundations. But even I would suggest to the government of India to consider, scrapping maybe subsidy programs on rooftop solar that they currently have. I know it's great that, for instance, in some states we are able to have rooftop solar electricity at maybe 1.5 to 2 rupees, makes for good news. But in reality, if you did the same thing but without the subsidy, you would have maybe paid 3.5, 4 rupees, which is still much cheaper than grid power at 7 rupees. And instead, we could have used that money to have a bigger base of volumes happen for the country. So in case we can't get money from multilaterals or other people, if we've got so much subsidy programs going on, if we just say, look, we are not doing that anymore. The subsidy is legacy from the time when rooftop solar was not viable we did not have grid parity without subsidy. So that's really 2012-13 legacy, not necessarily very applicable today. So that's one suggestion of how to grow the industry.